Joe said that the very first time he saw Romana, she was only 14. He knew she was the one.
When Pilates took me in, he says, "Oh, you're a natural."
If you had to say that he had a daughter, that he passed his ideas and his system onto, I think Romana is the one. And then she's kept true to that.
On my first lesson, he gave me the exercise called the star. And many people never learn the star at all. So I guess I was pretty much a star then. Up, in. Keep the rhythm and don't let your legs turn in. From this moment forward, please put some guts into it. Out. In all the way. Out. All right, I do it then. I do it if you can't do it. You want to dance? Don't fling flang now. No flinging and no flang. Cold up here. That's my loosener upper. When I went to Pilates, I was introduced to it by George Balanchine, and the reason was I was a dancer with an injured ankle, and he wanted that ankle strengthened so that I could dance. So he took me to Joe Pilates, and Mr. Pilates said to me, "Well, I'll give you 5 lessons. And if it isn't well by the end, I'll refund your money." And within 5 days, I knew how to place my ankle joint, how to work, and it was cured in 5 days.
I was 16 when my parents sort of railroaded me into coming because I was such a naughty girl that they thought something might help me. And I remember it was so glamorous and dirty and musky, you know, and that was what was so great about it. It was really quite awful to the access. And then you'd see, I think, was that where Lauren Bacall was and all these people that you'd see? And I was 16. You had this studio and then you wanted
Clara
to move.
and Joe died, and we need to have a new place. And your mother was very excited about it. And your mother said, "I'll find the studio." And she did. And she went out and found a decorator, and it came in and decorated. And of course, everything went very smoothly. And we were at that time down to only about 5 or 6 clients.
Really?
And here we are, have to make the rent. And so
Really?
I really got a hold of things, and in less than a month, we had 30 people.
Yeah, because I remember it being
Crowd.
busy.
Well, I had to build it up fast.
None of this would have happened if it weren't for Romana's influence over me as a teacher, because I already had a successful studio. She changed my life, and she probably has changed so many people's lives. You know, you always want Romana to be proud of you, you know? It's the strangest thing.
I had already kind of been won over by Pilates. It had changed my body, it was intelligent, it was everything that I was looking for. So by the time I got there, I already knew that I loved Pilates. But then when Romana walked in, you absolutely fall in love with her. You can't help it. This woman just oozes charm. She's honest, she's real. Pilates is an amazing exercise technique, but it's really only as good as its practitioner. And the teacher who is teaching has to infuse it with life and spirit, and that's who Romana is to me. And she's really that woman.
I'm from Arizona, and I walked in like a bow-legged cowboy getting off a horse. And I walked in like this, and I said, "Where is Romana? I heard she can fix my legs." And to this day, I corrected my bow legs 3 inches. Look, now they're together.
I went to Romana 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, when I was with Ballet Hispanico. Tina Ramirez sent me to Romana because I was hyper-flexible. So what she wanted me to do was tighten up my muscles and get in control of my muscles. And I remember walking in and being this young girl and seeing this brilliant woman who had so much energy and told me everything I was doing was absolutely wrong. My concept of movement was incorrect. I just would like go and everything was all over the place, and she began training me, putting it together.
Come on now, this is one of the hardest exercises to do. She does it like a cake with whipped cream.
She always manages to make you feel optimistic and good, but there's no baloney. There's no coddling. It's serious, it's truthful, it's direct. A fact is a fact, you're not doing it. Do it this way, it's better. But it's always a kind of laughter going on, a bubbly. You don't see an anger in her, frustration in her. It's like a nice fresh glass of cold water, fresh stream, mountain stream, beautiful blue sky, hot sun. I mean, you get the feeling of a force of nature that's positive.
She exudes a passion and a spirit that makes you actually realize how lazy you are as a human being. This woman is, she lives in a 5th floor walk-up. She walks up 5 flights of stairs every day. She comes and she teaches, and when she teaches, she gives her guts. She doesn't just come in with a bunch of intellectual information. She truly is a dom.
My stepfather met Pablo Mejia, thought he was a very charming young man. He met me and said he fell in love with me right away. We went to the Russian tea room. He looked at me across the table. Would you come to Peru with me? And I looked at him. I mean, will you marry me? And I thought, yes. Why I said yes, I don't know. And why not go to Peru? We lived high, wide, and handsome, and I've never regretted it. He was the alpaca king of the world. I love Peru dearly. I thought it was a wonderful country, and I never would have left, but I saw what was going to happen, and it happened.
I think our whole life, no matter whether we were at highest points or lowest points, as children we never knew the difference. Everything was always terrific and happy.
No matter what the economic situation was,
Well, we
lived on champagne and caviar, always.
No, sometimes it was just beans and
Beans and
jello.
jello, but it felt like champagne and caviar. I mean,
That's what I meant.
But we were all together and we were happy.
When we arrived, first place I went was to Uncle Joe and Aunt Clara, and then show them the children. Now they're grown up more than they were just babies when they'd seen them before. And said, oh, my Pilates babies. Mm-hmm. That's what he called them.
I come to Pilates, and he had a loud voice with a heavy accent, and he was wearing these little trunks. And I had only seen that in the beach, and so I was kind of shocked. He not only had these little trunks and a loud voice, but one of his eyes, of course, was glass. And that kind of frightened me. I was a little shy around Joseph Pilatес in the beginning. But Clara Pilates always took me under her wing, and it was okay. He loved me. I could tell that he loved me and everything.
Well, he was a very gruff and loud, but honest, really honest and sweet person. I can't keep track of Shari and Mother at all. I just stay here in Texas, and I call New York. She's never home. Then I finally reach her, but they're always somewhere. They're always somewhere. Brazil, and I think it's great. I mean, I think it's terrific that Mother travels all over the world now and is appreciated like she should be. It's just great.
I chose that this is really the thing that I'm going to have to help my mother with, because it really works and it really helps so many people, and I like to help people. So
even
really,
my granddaughter loves to help people.
Yeah.
We check each other out all the time.
And we learn from each other.
And we learn. It's pretty compatible, really.
I think we just teach Pilates.
Yeah.
The way it is.
It's all according
because
to the
it's
individual.
To make a program for each individual. We're not making a program for everybody.
I have no idea if it's true. I don't try to be like my mom. I don't try to be like my grandma, but, you know, I guess I do have certain traits that are just in there, you know, and she loves to show off and get up on the floor and do these beautiful back bends, and she loves to be twirled around by as many men as she can. But I shouldn't say that.
Romana's life is a party. You never know what's going to happen. All of a sudden you're drinking champagne and dancing sevillanas. It's absolutely wild.
Pure Pilates should not be lost. Technically, nobody knows it better than she does, but she has the heart, she has the giving. And she has the real Pilates spirit. It's not about how many videos can you sell, how many books can you write, how many talk shows can you be on. It's about how many people can you help. And that's what Joe and Clara are about, and that's what Romana is about. That's why Romana is Romana.